A leopard does not change its spots, and you as an employer have not got time, nor the energy, nor the allocated funding to try and make ham out of pig shit, okay? It's just not going to happen. How old are you going to be before you start to experience life like you want it? I want to tell you right now, whether you like it or not, there is a better way to do business. Hi everyone, welcome to the Business for Builders podcast. My name's Max, I'm your host. I'm the CEO here at Smith & Sons, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Look, as usual, we want to really get stuck into something that is going to really help you in your day-to-day business development process. And so today is definitely going to be no different. I've got something really good in store. All the normal housekeeping, like and subscribe. One of these drops every week. Leave comments. I really love the feedback. I'm really enjoying it at the moment. It's my oxygen. It really helps keep me on track because I want to make sure that whatever we're talking about on the show is super relevant. All that sort of good stuff as well. So don't forget the Business for Builders B4B VIP Facebook group. That's a good one to get across to. Answer the questions, and I'll, if you're a good sort, I'll let you in. And if you want to chat with me about some coaching, shoot across to elitebusinessadvisory.com and hit the book a consultation button, and let's have a chat and see what's going on and where I might be able to help. All right, tonight, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, something that I've been chatting with my team and certainly some of my elite business clients is about the subject matter of humans. I was about to drop an F-bomb before that, but we find ourselves with a lot of challenges as builders, as general contractors. But I think the challenge that we find as a corporate organization and a group of builders in amongst the elite business advisory group is getting humans. Like I said to one of my guys either today or yesterday, like we don't have a problem, and I know I don't want to be facetious and I don't want to sort of speak out of school, but we don't seem to have a problem to get inquiry. We don't have a problem systemizing the business. We don't have many challenges as it relates to sales. We're very, confident in how we go about doing that. As far as the delivery of the product's concerned, the construction aspect of what we do, we're not fazed by that either. However, for us to scale up a business, we know that no one else can do it as good as we can do it. I get that, head nod. But if we want to scale up a business and we want some lifestyle and some freedom and some choices, then we have to put together a team. And I've always said a business operates off the back of a good system, and good humans that we recruit will actually run those systems that run the business. So today, I just want to maybe kick the lid off real quick, a bit of an angle or something that can improve or enhance your recruitment capabilities or processes. And I don't know what you guys do when you're recruiting someone. Maybe you just say, hey, put your bag on and come and show me what you can do, and which is fair enough. That works. I mean, that's how I got recruited. I made a phone call on a Sunday night to Phil, and he said, when can you start? And I didn't want to go back to college, so I said tomorrow. So I did that, and then I went back to college on Tuesday and basically told him I wasn't coming back, and then Wednesday morning I was back on the job site, and that was it. Just for the record too, I think I was fired at least once during my apprenticeship for some minor infringements, maybe not doing what I was told, but nonetheless, that's how I was recruited. Now, I think that's very much a 50-50 kind of, it might work, it might not work out with that human. But I think we have to get better, no differently than the way we generate leads, the way we sell, the way we quote, the way we build. We're always trying to do it faster and without compromising quality. And I think when it comes to really focusing on recruitment, which we all know is what we need good humans, because not everyone is really sorted out and built to be a lead dog or a front man of a business. And so there's absolutely people out there that really want to help you build a business. That's what they feel their gifting is to be a 2IC or second in command, okay? So, the challenge that we have, no different than when we're talking about lead gen to jobs, what our conversion rate is. Now, our conversion rate's around, right now, it's 25%. So in the new year, we're only into the second week, so our stats start to look really good in that regard. And so I think that potentially, I'm not saying that you're only going to recruit 20 or 25% of the amount of people that you interview. However, you really have to start with designing a program or a process to enable you or to empower you to recruit better. And so, we can go down, and the whole process would take way longer than this podcast is going to allow, but you've really got to come up with a very attention-grabbing type marketing program. You've got to then have a very good scrutinizing process, and you've got to have a very good system if you want to recruit really well at the highest level and not invest so much time into somebody who's not going to work out. And that is always the challenge. So I am just going to touch on something really brief that, I believe improves our recruitment capability. And so I think if I went straight to the end, what I'm trying to talk about, or what I'm trying to demonstrate tonight, is that everyone is good on their first day and they're on their resume. Okay. And, it's funny how you can hire someone today and then 30 to 60 days later, you're like, where's the character that I interviewed? Where's the guy or girl that was on that resume? Because the person that's standing in front of me today is not the same person. My expectation was up here, and then the result that is been, or the outcome is way down. And that's a classic example of posturing. They pretend, they posture, they talk a big game. And so what we've begun to think about is utilizing something called psychometric profiling. So guys and girls, again, you might want to, if you're driving down the road, you might have to, when you pull up at the hardware store, you might want to back up and take some notes. But so I want you to pick up some concepts, right? And then do your own due diligence, use Google and maybe look at AI and see if that can't help you. But psychometric profiling really is a very targeted, targeted way of simulating stress, because what I'm looking to do is to gain insight into the traits and the abilities of the individual that I'm recruiting. Now, my advice is to have a way to screen candidates so you don't go through the psychometric profile with C players, okay? I'm always looking for the B plus and A players to interview. I don't want to interview the C players. No different than if we had a client ring up and, they were saying some things that indicated to me that they're not a fit for my business and my construction service, then I'm probably not going to go into a site visit. The same goes for, the candidate for a job that I know over the phone, then they're not going to be a fit for my business. So we need to sharpen our skills, but to do that, we kind of need some process and some tools and some approaches that is going to help us maximize our return on investment as it relates to the time invested in recruiting the right type of talent. So, really what we're trying to do is identify the attributes, and the goal is to align candidate qualities with job demands. So the outcome reduces the risk of us making poor hiring decisions. So, I think it's important that for you to really calculate how you're going to go about this, you need to do your own investigation. I'm not about to give you a checklist. I'm going to give you an overview, a bit of a conceptual analysis, if you like, about, how we want to do it and what we want to go about, give you the tools, point you in the direction, and then go and do your own homework. So if I were you, and I know that I've got one that I just pushed across to one of our guys. It was like 10 questions, psychometric profiling to recruit a lead carpenter, okay? And some of the questions in there were about how they would handle certain situations, okay? And what their responses might be to this instance, and give some examples. So first thing I want you to do is to either use Google or AI and go and understand psychometric profiling better, okay? Then once you understand that concept, okay, what I want you to then do is probably go to AI and understand that, the more targeted prompts you can give AI, the better the outcome would be from AI. But what you might ask AI to do is, as part of my psychometric questioning of a candidate for a lead carpentry position with my general contracting company, what 7 questions could I ask to simulate stress to enable me or to reduce the chances of a mishire and get a better understanding of the key attributes of the candidate? Go. And you'll start to build, and this is what I love. What I'm trying to do is teach you how to fish. I don't want to give you, here, go do this, because what you're going to do is a very superficial approach. You won't understand the concept. Now, the greatest challenge for all of us general contractors and entrepreneur business owners across the world is human resource and recruitment. Team building is a massive challenge. Now, on the flip side, you've got to be aware and understand that you've got to be a special kind of individual or human to be the leader of a good human resource network within your business as well. So I think it's binary. It's a double-edged sword. Yes, you need good humans, but you have to be a good human and good at leading also, okay? So what the goal is to, and I've done this wrong more times than I care to think about. I just took the word of the individual that they were going to do what they said they were going to do and be who they're going to be. And more often than not, they're not, because I didn't apply enough pressure. So what we're trying to do is simulate stress, and it's very difficult to do because if they're a cool cat and they're smart, they might respond very competently. So this is not a perfect, process, but it's certainly probably a little bit of a step up from what you're currently doing. So the objectives are to simulate stress, and in doing so, what we then want to do is watch for body language. So watch for the eye movement, watch for the fidgety hands, watch for the head down, because they are tells, okay? They are going to demonstrate to you, okay, the way that he reacted. Now, this is not a perfect science, and this could be your first time doing this. So don't worry if you don't get it quite right. I think we just need to do a little bit more study around the science of psychometric profiling and into, the recruitment of human resource for our business. So watch for the, simulate the stress, watch for the body language. And another tell is, the time it takes to respond. Obviously, the time it takes to respond, and when they do start to respond, is it reflective of someone that actually knows what they're talking about, or is it just a bullshit artist? Okay? So, we've got to be very... now, a lot of the time, I can ask questions, let's say, side note or pivot. If I go and talk to a client about a renovation project, and I ask them, so have you renovated before? Oh, yeah, we've done 3 or 4 basement renos. And I'm like, oh, interesting. And so did you do the work yourself, or did you put it out to general contractors? And they might say, oh, no, my brother-in-law is a general contractor. He's done those last 3 or 4 jobs for us. Now, to me, I don't have to say anything much next because I know what's going on. This client is using me as a price checker to ensure the brother-in-law is not ripping them off. Okay. Now, I'm not going to say that in as many words to the homeowner. However, to me, it's highly likely, it's not guaranteed, but it's highly likely that I am just going to be used as a price checker. And I don't appreciate that. I've got better things to do. And if they're not a serious client, then I don't want to do business with them, especially if they're just going to get their brother-in-law to do the job anyway. So the same goes for when I'm recruiting a lead carpenter or maybe even an apprentice, perhaps. Side note, and another side note, when you look, I want to encourage you to think about this, right? I'm not going to say this is what you got to do, but I think when we're hiring apprentices, I think it's very important because remember, apprentices, like I was 16, I think, just turned 16. They're very young, okay? So you're really not going to put them through a psychometric profiling program. Really, that's for more leadership type management positions within your business. But a side note on recruiting franchises, recruiting apprentices is go and meet the parents. Listen to the tone of the parents and maybe just ask them to tell you about their son. Because in this world, there is a percentage of the human population that are terribly entitled, that will not take responsibility, in other words, don't have the ability to respond, would prefer to pass the buck and blame somebody else because they think their shit doesn't stink, and therefore will spend the rest of their life going around that mountain where they will not develop because unfortunately for us to climb up the mountain, we've got to go through the different levels, and a lot of those levels can be painful. So that's, if you're thinking about hiring an apprentice, it would be, I would say it's very advantageous. And the reason I know that's, I mean, I don't know how to say this, but I mean, I know that when I spent that second day on the tools with Phil, him and my old man talked for like an hour. And I'm like, what's up with that? Now, I didn't know, and I still don't know categorically, but it's very likely that Phil, my boss, who basically helped me get my apprenticeship sorted, he wanted to probably know where I came from as far as the family, because ultimately I've got a 16-year-old son. If some employer did the wrong thing by him, I would probably come over the top hot and heavy. And so I think we can calculate the smarts of a child, 16-year-old child, based on the conversation that you're going to have with the mum and or the dad. Okay, so that's just a little bit of a side note as it relates to 16-year-old apprentices. But getting back to more leadership and management style, we want to simulate the stress, watch for the body language, it's a tell, and then calculate or observe the response time. So if someone started to talking to me about something that was within my niche, it's likely that I will have a fairly confident response. I won't really have to go and sort of and and carry on and speculate and, whatever. It'll be straight, it'll be fairly categoric and to the point, and reasonably reliable as well. So go and study psychometric profiling, Google, utilize AI to come up with a really good half dozen questions, and then ask yourself those questions and think about how it makes you feel, and ask yourself, do those questions simulate some level of stress? Now, all stress means is that it puts weight on you. What we're trying to do is simulate stress. We're trying to put weight intentionally on the candidate, because I'm trying to figure out whether you're the real deal or whether you're an imposter, okay? And so that's really what the idea is. Go to Google, understand psychometric profiling, and then go to AI to come up with your own questions that will simulate the stress as it relates to the candidate that you're trying to recruit. And then watch for those key things. Simulate the stress, watch for the response times, and watch for the body language. And that you'll develop more of an uncanny, almost like a sublime recognition then going forward as to the people that you're interviewing and whether or not they're going to be suitable for your business. And I think probably the concluding comment is listen to your intuition. Your intuition does not lie. You feel it. You go, this is a good person, or this is not a good person for the business, or whatnot. Now, understand that attitudes and skills, you have the ability to probably improve those. However, traits is impossible to move. So just be aware. Do some study around that as well. So attitudes, skills, and traits. When you've got certain traits or trademarks within a personality, they are ingrained, they are hereditary. You're not going to be able to change those. A leopard does not change its spots, and you as an employer have not got time, nor the energy, nor the allocated funding to try and make ham out of pig shit, okay? It's just not going to happen. So guys and girls, we understand that we've got to do the hard work, but understand this, that we want to reduce the amount of friction, because friction's bad for business. Friction creates heat and drag, neither of which are good for your bottom line. And so we are trying to systemize. So when I talk about systems, this recruitment process using psychometric profiling, really in including AI in the development of your psychometric profiling process is how you're going to develop the systems within your business. So I would encourage you to maybe get back to me and let me know once you've kind of gone and put that together. I'd love to get an email from you, max@elitebusinessadvisory.com, and just hit me up and let me know. Go, hey, that was a load of bullshit. Or, hey, that actually made some difference in the way that I approach recruitment. It really helped. I went and did some homework, and what you were saying and what I was finding, now I've got an implemented system that is actually going to help me, and I'm looking forward to getting amongst it. And I want let me know. Let me know what you think of that, because like I said at the beginning, our biggest challenge is human resource recruitment and management, and it is one of the largest restrictors or constraints on us scaling up a business and having the time and the freedom that we want to do the things that we want to do. Not so much opportunity, plenty of opportunity. It's easy to put checklists and processes and and document certain things within our business. That's simple. But when we're relying on humans, it is by far our greatest challenge. So be encouraged. There's good people out there. I'd work on about a 20% conversion rate. 1 out of 5 people are probably going to be the one that suits your business. Make sure that you're being the leader that you need to be to lead, because I'm telling you, if you find some good talent and you aren't the best leader that you can be, those good people are probably not going to hang around. So that's the other defining moment for you. Yeah, you want good people in your business, but you want to be the type of leader that these people want to follow. Keep that in mind as well. So don't forget to get across to Facebook, B4B VIP. Answer the questions. If you're a good sort, I'll let you in. And be sure to contact me on email, max@elitebusinessadvisory.com, or shoot across to the website, elitebusinessadvisory.com. Hit the book a consultation button. Let's catch up on a video call. And what else I got to say there? Leave some comments below here if you're watching this on YouTube. And we look forward to bringing more value next week. Go build a kick-ass business, and I will see you on the next episode. Cheers, big ears.